Daniel Dubois has made a bold move by leaking footage of his sparring session with Anthony Joshua. At first glance, you might think it's just ordinary training footage, but upon closer look, you'll see a different story unfold. The video shows a helpless Joshua being knocked down, not just once but 3 times. While being knocked down once during a sparring session might be understandable, having it multiple times is seen as deeply humiliating. Confident by his performance has gone as far as to suggest that Joshua should quit boxing altogether and never return to the ring. The two fighters have been locked in a heated rivalry lately, with tensions running high. However, it becomes particularly intriguing when one of them steps beyond the usual bounds of competition and displays unexpected confidence. This is precisely what Daniel Dubois has done, firmly believing that he is the superior fighter. Dubois has reached a point of self-assurance, convinced that he is the best in the ring. This newfound confidence stems from a recent sparring match with Anthony Joshua, during which Dubois performed exceptionally well. Recently, Daniel Dubois has been grappling with feelings of insecurity, particularly as comparisons between him and Anthony Joshua have become increasingly frequent. Critics, including seasoned professional boxers, have been vocal about their skepticism, often asserting that Dubois stands little chance of prevailing against Joshua. This constant doubt and negative commentary has weighed heavily on Dubois, challenging his confidence and pushing him to prove himself. Dubois not only held his own but delivered a performance that left a lasting impression. He managed to knock Joshua to the canvas 3 times, a feat that far exceeded the expectations of those who doubted his abilities. 3 times, wow, that's something you don't see every day. It's quite a record if you ask me. No boxer has ever achieved such a feat, especially to do it successively in a single session. Dubois must be feeling incredibly proud of himself, and rightfully so. I mean, who wouldn't? Knocking down a champion like Joshua 3 times, even in a sparring session, is a significant accomplishment. If I were in Dubois' shoes, I'd definitely be celebrating, even if it wasn't an official fight. This performance not only tells us about Dubois' skill and power, but also serves as a huge morale boost. But what is Joshua's reaction to all of this? Does he seem upset after being knocked down multiple times by Dubois? You might be surprised by Joshua's response. According to him, Dubois is barely faced him during their sparring session. In a confident interview, Joshua downplayed the significance of the knockdowns, saying that Dubois simply scratched him. He implied that Dubois' success was more a matter of luck than skill.
He just cracked me with a good shot, but I stood on my feet. I don't know where this whole narrative of someone turned my lights off came from, but
Joshua also expressed hurt over the public's reaction to hearing about his knockdowns. With a serious look on his face, he acknowledged that everyone is entitled to their opinions and can say whatever they want, but he emphasized that these opinions hold no real significance, especially regarding their upcoming fight. Joshua's demeanor showed that he is not only determined to redeem himself but also unfazed by the criticism and skepticism directed at him.
And people have come out and said that, nah, nothing happened. But anyway, look, people say what they say. With me, there's always been like an inch that makes a mile, but it's all good.
Joshua is resolute in his belief that when their fight takes place on September 21st, everyone will witness a different version of him. The people might perceive that a weaker Joshua faced Dubois during the sparring match, but he is confident that Dubois will be facing a formidable opponent when the actual fight happens. Joshua asserts that he will change into a relentless force, a far cry from the version seen in their previous sparring session.
I'm not saying that he has the chance to do it on September 21st, because what you speak is sometimes what comes into existence. But I won't let it happen, and I'll show you how good I am. Because, yeah, whether it's in the ring sparring or whether it's in the ring fighting, I won't let anyone manhandle me or try and knock me out, no way.
Now the professionals have weighed in with differing views. Joyce, the only other man to have beaten Dubois in the ring, gives his former opponent the edge in the highly anticipated all-British boxing showdown. Joyce, who is set to face domestic rival Derek Chisora in London later this month, admits that both Dubois and Joshua possess formidable punching power. However, he has tipped Dubois to emerge victorious, hinting at the possibility of a second fight between them. As someone who has direct experience in the ring with Dubois, Joyce's endorsement carries weight. He recognizes the strengths of both fighters, but thinks that Dubois' recent performance and current form give him the edge. Speaking on Queensberry's YouTube channel, he said, "Let's hope Daniel puts him out, and then I get to fight him to the end, get the rematch, beat Daniel again, and get the title."
Yeah, I think he hits hard, and if he's there, it's acceptable. But I mean, they can both bang, and I'd like to see who'll be the winner there. May the best man win.
Reflecting on his career progression, juggernaut Joyce is optimistic about his chances of returning to world title contention with a win over veteran 2-time world title challenger Derek Chisora. Joyce commented that I moved quickly up the ranks and had some very exciting fights. I reached the WBO temporary title, but the belts were tied up.
For the full title, and that's what I'm going for. But also being in very big fights and you know. I mean,
Everything seems to be going Dubois' way from his triumphant sparring session to the favorable views of the pros. And here's another feather in his cap. Daniel Dubois has recently beaten rival Anthony Joshua in knockout statistics, a fact that bolsters Frank Warren's claim about Dubois' exceptional power. It's no exaggeration to say that Dynamite Dubois possesses formidable punching power, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. His promoter, Frank Warren, has confidently asserted that Dubois hits harder than his equally feared rival Anthony Joshua. In the build-up to the fight, Warren shared these thoughts during an interview with Toport, emphasizing Dubois' knockout capabilities.
Clips him, he will knock him out. I think Daniel's the bigger puncher, but you know, as we spoke about this, Daniel and myself and Don quite a bit, and for me it's the battle of the jabs.
Warren went further to praise Dubois for his remarkable career progress. For Dubois, getting such a commendation from someone of Warren's standing must feel immensely gratifying, but the accolades didn't stop there. Warren also admired Dubois for his bravery and determination in facing and beating undefeated opponents. Most heavyweights don't reach their primes until they're in their 30s, but this young man's really done well. He's had to his teeth and showed a lot of heart and drive to come through against two undefeated fighters and stop both of them. Recently released rankings from the Ring magazine show that Dubois holds the highest knockout ratio among the top-ranked heavyweights out of his 21 victories. Dubois has achieved an impressive 20 knockouts, giving him a staggering KO ratio of 95.24%, putting him at the top of the list. Joshua ranks third behind Dubois and British heavyweight Joyce, with a former Olympic champion boasting a KO ratio of 89.29% following Joshua. Our American heavyweight Jared Anderson, Philip Hrgovic, and Tage Jang round out the 4th, 5th, and 6th positions, respectively, but another well-known fighter, Alexander Usyk, holds a different perspective on this matter. Usyk has defeated 5 British opponents in the past 6 years, notably claiming the unified heavyweight titles from Anthony Joshua and successfully defending them against Daniel Dubois. Usyk's experience gives him a unique perspective on the upcoming all-English clash. He defeated Joshua twice, both times going the distance, and then won a stoppage. Victory against Dubois. Subsequently, Usyk achieved another milestone by claiming the 4th and final heavyweight belt from Tyson Fury, thereby becoming the division's first undisputed champion in over 2 decades. In a Boxing News interview shortly after his bout with the younger British fighter, Usyk expressed his belief that AJ would always remain a level above, but is this assertion accurate? I'd like to hear your thoughts on these differing opinions about the two fighters. Now, if the match were to happen sooner rather than later, who do you think would emerge victorious? Please share your thoughts below.